We've got the Mazda CX-90 and the Kia Telluride in our comparison this week.
So north of the border, it's Mazda. South of the border, it's Mazda. We'll go both ways to keep everybody happy. Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we'd love it if you would subscribe and follow along. We do these comparisons all the time.
Yep.
Brand new Mazda up against a real strong contender in the three-row SUV race. Let's get at it.
The CX-90 has a 3.3-liter inline-six turbo with a mild hybrid system and an 8-speed automatic transmission. There are two variations. The standard model with regular fuel has 280 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque, and the high-output 3.3-liter turbo with premium fuel gets 340 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. Now, you can put regular fuel in the high-output model, but you'll get a lower horsepower number. Torque stays the same. Standard rear biased all-wheel drive.
The Kia Telluride has a 3.8-liter V6 and an 8-speed automatic transmission, 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada. You can get front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive in the United States. Kia recommends just regular fuel for the Telluride.
The CX-90 inline-six turbo offers a dynamic drive. We really enjoyed it. It's fun for such a large SUV and handles really well. The steering isn't too heavy, and you'll be surprised by the suspension. It's not as firm as other Mazda models. The CX-90 is designed with the driver in mind, creating an engaging driving experience, yet providing ample space for families in all three rows. The new 8-speed automatic transmission doesn't have a torque converter. By replacing the torque converter with a wet clutch, the torque of the engine and motor is transmitted with a sharper shifting feel. What's unique to the CX-90 is that it offers a full-time rear-biased all-wheel drive system. MI Drive is also included with normal, sport, off-road, and available tow mode. The CX-90 comes standard with iActive Sense safety features, including blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert.
Now, the Telluride offers a comfortable drive. It's smooth. There's plenty of power. It has a softer suspension to absorb those bumps on the road. And you'll find the steering is lighter, which makes it easy to maneuver in city traffic. Now, smaller drivers will also enjoy the high seating position. The Telluride also has an active on-demand all-wheel drive system that uses sensors to monitor road conditions and distribute power to the appropriate wheels. In extreme conditions, the driver can activate all-wheel drive lock or snow mode to provide optimal traction. The Telluride comes standard with plenty of driver assistance technology, including blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. It also gets some new standard safety features for this updated model, including forward collision avoidance and junction crossing and intelligent speed limit assist.
Between the two of these, I prefer the drive of the CX-90. It's more engaging, but it wasn't exactly what I expected from Mazda. I expected a firmer suspension and heavier steering. That's not the case, so I think it's going to appeal to more people.
And the reason we say that is because with their other smaller SUVs like the CX-5 and the CX-50, we do notice that the steering and the suspension is quite firm. So this has been softened up, I think, primarily because of its size and what it's got to do. It's got to move families and kids around, and they want it to do it comfortably. But the real showstopper is the inline six-cylinder engine with the higher performance output and that rear bias all-wheel drive system. Sort of sounds a lot like a BMW, but it's not. It's just their take on doing a large three-row SUV. Kia, on the other hand, is just a real good all-rounder. It does everything really quite well.
It does. The suspension does feel a little bit softer compared to the CX-90, but I think that a lot of people will like that as a family hauler. It's just so easy to maneuver. I mean, the turning radius is excellent on it. It's another great option in this three-row category. The CX-90 is based on the brand's large platform, which allows for a wider body and fenders, giving this SUV a strong stance. A new color for the CX-90 is Artisan Red and was specifically developed for this three-row SUV. The CX-90 offers up to 8.1 inches of ground clearance and comes standard with LED headlamps, LED rear combination lamps, 18-inch wheels, available 19-inch and 21-inch wheels. It also has a temporary spare tire. There are different grille finishes from matte black to high gloss and different designs from honeycomb to mesh. The GT model gets the signature LED lighting, front and rear lower bumpers in black with silver accents. The top trim has the bumpers in the body color and silver accents.
Now, the Kia Telluride was updated for the 2023 model year, including redesigned LED headlamps. The biggest change is the LED daytime running lights have gone from amber collars to white vertical LED lamps. There are two new trims, the X Line and the X Pro, which offer higher ground clearance at 8.4 inches compared to the regular models at 8 inches. Other features on these new models include a tow mode, dark exterior accents including gloss black roof rails, front grille, and dark metallic accents. The Telluride comes standard with LED headlamps, LED rear combination lamps, 20-inch wheels, 18 in the United States. The X Pro models get 18-inch wheels with all-terrain tires.
Well, I think we can agree these are very different looking vehicles. I like the boxy, rugged design of the Telluride, but I also like the sophistication and elegance that the CX-90 offers.
Yeah, I'm more in the Telluride camp. I just think it looks great. I think they did a great job. There's a lot of controversy online about those amber daytime running lights are gone now, and they've gone to the two vertical LED lights, gone from amber to clear. I don't know. I see them both on the road, and I like both of them.
Yeah.
But, type below, tell us what you think. I see a lot of Range Rover influence in the Telluride.
For sure.
And what do you see in the Mazda? I think it's got its kind of own look, right?
Yeah, it does. It has its own look. Like I said, it's really elegant. Some complaints about the CX-90. People don't like the bulging back end. I've kind of gotten used to it, but I would say that the long hood looks really sharp with the CX-90. I'm really torn with exterior style with these two.
Okay, one quick thing before we move on is what you'll notice about the CX-90 is the greenhouse. That's the glass. So the body goes up, and then the sides of the windows are really quite up and down. That provides a great amount of window space. So that's something they've done really well.
The CX-90 offers quite a luxury experience. It feels more upscale and sophisticated for a non-luxury brand. In Canada, it comes standard with some nice features like a 7-inch driver display, 10.25-inch center display with Mazda Connect, wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, manual heated black cloth front seats, and 8-passenger seating. Moving up one from the base model adds power front seats, leatherette upholstery, a heated steering wheel, power liftgate, plus the option of a 7 or 8-passenger vehicle. You can add the enhanced package to this trim for just over $2,000 Canadian, which includes heated second row captain's chairs, the panoramic sunroof, a wireless phone charger, and a hands-free liftgate. The GT model is a 7-passenger vehicle with leather-trimmed upholstery. You'll also add a 360 camera, heated second-row captain's chairs. This is where wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto comes in, and of course you get the Bose sound system. The GT high-output model adds driver seat memory, a power passenger seat, ventilated front seats, and Napa leather. The top signature model is only a 6-passenger vehicle, and frankly, we think this is a bit of a miss from Mazda, and you cannot remove the rear center console. It's fixed. This trim adds the dual 12.3-inch screens and ventilated second-row captain's chairs. In the US, here's a breakdown of the trims. One up from the base model adds a moonroof, a power passenger seat, and heated front seats. 2 up from the base gets you the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and a wireless charger. The premium trim has the panoramic sunroof, a hands-free power liftgate, and the Bose sound system. Premium Plus adds the dual 12.3-inch screens, a heated steering wheel, ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, a power passenger seat, and Napa leather. The top trims in the US are 6-passenger vehicles. There is no option of 7 or 8 passengers.
The Telluride was also updated on the inside for the 2023 model year. It gets a redesigned dashboard with revised trim panels and HVAC vents. The head-up display has been upgraded from 8.5 inches to 10 inches, and the infotainment screen is available with 10.25 inches or 12.3 inches, and that adds navigation. The wireless charger area is now larger. And for the first time, Kia has made available a digital rearview mirror. Standard features on the Telluride include wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 4.2-inch driver display, wireless charger, 8-passenger seating, a powered driver seat, heated leatherette front seats, a heated steering wheel, single sunroof, and a power liftgate. If you go one up from the base model, that's where you get the dual sunroof, driver seat memory, power passenger seat, leather seats, ventilated front seats, and that larger 12.3-inch driver display. You also get the Harman Kardon sound system. The SX Limited adds Napa leather seats, ventilated and heated second row seats, a digital rearview mirror, and a 10-inch head-up display and ambient lighting. In the United States, if you go one up from the base model, that's where you get heated front seats, a powered driver's seat, and wireless charger. The EX trim has leather seats, a power passenger seat, ventilated front seats, a sunroof, and a power tailgate. The SX trim has the dual panel sunroof, driver's seat memory, Harman Kardon sound system, and the surround view monitor. If you get the SX with the S line, that adds dual 12.3-inch screens, and the SX Prestige adds ventilated rear seats, heated steering wheel, Napa leather seats, and a head-up display.
For the Telluride, we'll start with that first. Just going up one from the base model in Canada to the SX trim, it is loaded with so many features. You even get the dual 12.3-inch screens. Unfortunately, only wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is offered with the Telluride. As well, that trim is an 8-passenger vehicle, which some may really want. So you don't really have to move up to the top trim necessarily to get a load of features on the Telluride.
Now at Mazda, they have what they call Mazda Premium, and the one we're showing you here is the top signature trim. And I would say it's a class above the Telluride in terms of what's available for fit and finish. It really is pushing into premium or luxury territory, but what's the one to buy?
With the CX90, it's a little bit difficult to decide. The GT model in Canada is where you get the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which I really believe should be a standard feature.
Same with
on
Kia.
The CX90.
They should have that too.
For sure. So I think for me, I would definitely need to get the GT, even if I got the standard engine, let's say. So I think with Mazda, it's tough because in Canada, the top trim is only a 6-passenger, and in the US, the 2 top trims are 6-passenger. So I don't know. I think it really depends on space for families when it comes to the CX90. What did Mazda say to us about that?
Well, they said that people who are wanting the top trim are older and they don't need all the space. They're just buying it because they have the cash. I would disagree. I just want these car companies to give us options. Order the car with 6, 7, or 8 seats, whichever one, because there are going to be people who have the money and just want to move kids around, and they want those 8 seats with the 8 seat belts. I don't understand this. This is just sort of silly. I don't get it. And then if you get into seat comfort, I would definitely give the Mazda the seat comfort edge, but only marginally. The Telluride seats we found really quite firm, and we find Mazda seats quite firm, but they are slightly better.
Comparing the two in space, the Kia is bigger. The Telluride offers over 2 inches more front row legroom, 3 inches more second row legroom, and 1 inch more third row legroom. Cargo space behind the third row in the CX90 is also smaller at 14.9 cubic feet. The Telluride has over 6 cubic feet more space, and overall cargo space for the CX90 is 74.2 cubic feet. The Telluride has an extra 12.8 cubic feet.
So the Telluride is the clear winner on space. So you have to prioritize what is important to you. So I understand all the plushness of the Mazda with the nice interior and the inline 6-cylinder. So these, at the essence, are really about moving people around. And that's where I think the Kia is the winner. I get the big engine and all that with the Mazda, but for me, I just want to move people around.
Yeah, I think that's right. Different needs and wants for different families. If you want a more engaging drive, the CX90 is the clear winner. If you want more space, that boxy design of the Telluride is the one to go for. Also, the Telluride on the top trim, if you want all the bells and whistles, is a 7-passenger vehicle. Let's start with pricing. We'll do the CX90 first, Canada, and then we'll move on to the US. There are loads of trims and prices on the screen, so feel free to pause and go through it at your leisure. The base model in Canada starts at just under $46,000, and the top signature is just over $63,000. In the US, the base model starts at just over $39,500. And the top trim is just under $60,000. Here's the fuel economy. The standard inline six gets 9.9 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 8.4 on the highway. That's 24 miles per gallon city, 28 miles per gallon highway. The high output engine gets 10.3 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 8.5 on the highway. That's 23 miles per gallon city, 28 miles per gallon highway. The CX90 can tow up to 5,000 pounds. Mazda offers a warranty of 3 years with unlimited kilometers in Canada and 3 years or 36,000 miles in the US.
Here's the pricing for the Telluride. The base model in Canada starts at just over $50,000, and the most expensive X Pro is just under $63,000. An enormous amount of trims available in the United States. The base front-wheel drive model starts at just under $36,000 in the US, and the most expensive SX Premium X Pro is just under $53,000. Here's the fuel economy, 12.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 9.8 on the highway. That's 18 miles per gallon city, 24 miles per gallon highway. The Telluride can tow 5,000 pounds, and the X Pro models, 5,500 pounds. The warranty is 5 years, 100,000 kilometers, or 60,000 miles.
So after going through all those numbers, there are a lot of them, you'll find that the CX90 gets better fuel economy than the Telluride. Now,
but the Telluride's bigger.
The Telluride's bigger. Now, we didn't get those EPA numbers when we drove the inline six in California, but I look forward to getting it back and seeing what sort of numbers we get. We weren't getting the EPA numbers. We have heard from Telluride owners who say that they get better fuel economy than the EPA numbers.
One of the reasons is, we didn't mention it earlier, but it is worth touching on about the fuel economy. So this is a high compression Atkinson cycle 3.8 liter. That's all techie talk to mean it's all designed for better fuel economy. And when you drive with a lighter foot, it does deliver. We get that feedback.
For pricing, wow, so many trims, right? Like, just so many options out there. But if you take a look at the base model of the CX90 and the base model of the Telluride in Canada, you will pay more for the Telluride. There are a few extra features. However, in the US, it's the opposite. You'll pay less for the Telluride than you will for the CX90. Not massive differences, but there is a difference.
I like this new CX90. I think they did a great job. I think the interior, if you get those top trims, is really fancy and bumping into luxury territory. I like the inline six. I like all of that. But I just like the Telluride more. I've just always liked it. I just think the styling is better. I just like the space on the inside. I just like the interior layout is really well done. I don't know. There's just something about Telluride for me personally. You right below, tell us what you think. For me, I just still think that's the one to beat in this whole midsize SUV space.
Well, some may feel the same way as you do. If you look at top trim to top trim price-wise, in Canada, there's only about a $500 difference between the two. But in the US, it's almost $7,000.
More for which one?
More for the CX90.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow. I just love the look of the Telluride. For me, styling is a big deal.
Yeah.
If I got to look at my car every day, I want it to look like the Telluride.
I like the Telluride as well. Couple things that I like about the CX90 over the Telluride. Seats are more comfortable,
big deal, yeah.
For sure. I like the engaging drive of the CX90. But I'm disappointed with the 6-passenger seating on that top trim. I would prefer the Telluride if I'm moving people. That's a 7-passenger. I also feel that the seats in the Telluride, that third row, is a little more comfortable.
Way
you know,
bigger.
my knees aren't sitting up as high in the Telluride.
I think we've killed this one.
Haven't we?
Yeah, we've gone through it all. So, you know, we actually have people who say we watched it 2 or 3 times to digest all of the information.
It's a lot.
There's a lot in there, especially when you go through all the trims. All right, so make sure you like and subscribe, and also follow on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea. And when will we see them next, Andrea?
Well, we'll see you next time for another comparison.